It's 5:30 in the morning. I've got a lot to do today, so I've got to get on. So what we're going to do now, I've turned the box around. Let's see if we can, that's a bit jerky, isn't it? Never mind. On here we're going to put this retention plate on here. I don't know what it's called, this thing here. Just going to put a little bit of RTV around it. And it'll come out the tube. It's a bit sleepy, as like I am. There we are. It just wants a smear around here, like that. And then we're going to put it in here. And look at that, goes in, fits like a glove. Won't be too tight because they're only small bolts. Right, so the next thing is we're going to take off that top cover, and we needed a 0.65 or 0.64 shim in the lay shaft, which is here. So let's take that off. And measure up and see what we actually have. I haven't had my breakfast yet, my stomach's going at it. I've got to get my sausage out, I think. Listen. Starving Marvin. Oh, that's handy, isn't it? There's the shim. Let's go and get the shim box out. The shim box. I don't know what size it is. There's all sorts of sizes. Hey, when I was talking about something like the other day, the plug that goes into the detent here that I had to drill out, and I said it was £71. That was £71 from LR Direct, but it seems to be that Land Rover itself have them for £8.50. I still think it's £8 too expensive, but I don't know what's going on there. Right, these shims here, which size are they? I bet we haven't got them. Oh dear. Oh. There we go, any. Well, that's a faller at the first fence. I haven't got any shims. I'll have to go and have a look and see if I've got some in an odd box. Well, I didn't have a shim thick enough. Got all my little shim box out, but I ain't got no thick enough. I'm still a bit shy. I'll zero this in. You can't see anyway, can you? Because it's the wrong side. So I'm with this shim that's in. I'm 0.18 out. How much is 0.18? Oh, it's better, but there's still side to side. So I'm going to have to go down and see JP this morning. The downside about these shims in for these old LT boxes here, like that type of set here that I've got, there's no like shimmy type shims, you know, like for the later boxes, which is a bit of a blow really. So I'm going to have to pop down to see. So that could be a lot of fun, couldn't it? So JP just called. He said my shim was ready. That was really fast. Only took it down about half an hour ago. So what we're going to do, going to take the gearbox off the stand, fit this shim to the front cover and put some sealer on it, taking note that it should be absolutely right for the lay shaft here. There should be no lift or play in it. Then we're going to stick it back on the stand and start to build the rest of it up. Yeah, that's nicely shimmed up now. There's no play on that. The only play that is in there now is between the teeth inside the gearbox. That's negligible. It's just where they're sort of rattling around just about right. Before the spacing, if the spacing's open like this, the lay shaft drops to the bottom and can cause a lot of noise. Anyway, that's good. Now I'm just going to leave this nut temporarily on here, but we can start to build up the rest of the thing. Spacer. Next. Bearingy thing here. Put a bit of oil on that. Where's my oil can gone? It was here. Right then, hiding. There we go. Can't put enough oil on. That's that one. Next thing, we can put the gear on here. Now, pay attention to this. This is probably one of the problems they had. This is the 5th. Can you see how close the teeth are on that gear? On the, you know, between the synchro and here. Well, here's a new ring. Perhaps you can see the difference. So this is the old one, but you can see instantly here. You can see how far back it is. Okay, it's Friday, and it's nice there. I think they've had a problem with 5th gear in this, and also perhaps they've had a problem with the lay shaft being down. I bet it was really noisy. You can slip that on. Now we've got to build up this synchro, because this synchro was in pieces. How clean is that? Ooh. Filth. No, some people don't clean up the gearboxes enough. You see, I can't get over this. This is absolutely amazingly clean and shiny. Look at that. No, there's no burnt on it or anything. So let's set this. Let's put this synchro in. When we took this apart, I thought the synchro ring had snapped. The spring had snapped. Apparently not. That's the way they are. So we need some. We don't need that bit yet. We need that. 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 And that. Get the poo off. We also need one of these. Now, why do we need one of these? Well, we need to put one of these where the little slippers go here. Let's line those up. 1, 2, 3. Spring. Maybe it didn't go in there. Now it's on. Now we should be able to lift this off without it springing away. Or should I get another? I think I'll get another selector ring. Wait a minute. Get another synchro ring, put it over the top, like that. Then turn this upside down, remembering where the spring was. There's the end here. Now we're going to put the spring starting off at that one, and that should hold together. So we've got the spring going that way. Wait a minute. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Alright, so we've got that together. Give it a bit of oil. Now, because I pulled all this lot off very quickly, I can't remember which way it goes on, but I think I've worked it out. This little cover here is supposed to have a notch in it here. Now, the notch doesn't look much cop. Might have to have a look at that. Is that the reason why it buggered up? Well, let's just see if this goes onto the shaft, and we might be able to knock it over once it's in place. got to line up those little notches in here with the slipper. Would have been an advantage to put a mark on the outside. Right, that's it. Now, that should be locked in there like that. Don't know if anybody can see that. This plate is loose and it should be knocked over into that little groove there. Right, can you see it here? See, there's a little notch. See how it's loose? We're going to get a little punch and punch it in. Watch us knock the bleeding thing over. Right. Right. That's better. That's better. Now, that's a bit. Is it all right or is it bent? Well, let's put this together. Oh. Don't you spring up on me. I think that cover's bent because look here, I've got the bushing. This bush here, this sleeve, is touching the shaft, or should I say the inside of the synchro. But you can see here, here and here, where it's touching. We see this side, it's a different story. There's a great big gap here. It's like the gap band. So I'm not happy with that at all. That's probably a cause of our problem when we saw the spring sticking out. Now, what am I saying now for? I don't know. Let's see. A, if we've got another one. Or B, can we straighten this out? I found another one and you can distinctively see that this one is bent. You see there? Now the tab has been knocked over, but that's not our problem because we can just turn it into a different position. Notice there isn't a synchro ring in that side. Now this ring here, the ring of confidence, will stop that coming up with a bit of luck. Still a bit movie. I wonder if when those are new they're supposed to keep tight. That's an interesting prospect, isn't it? I wonder if there just needs a little press, because that seems a bit loose, doesn't it? Let's play around with this. So I just pressed it a little bit. It seems to be okay. I'm going to try and find the circlip for this now. Hold that down and then we can move this in and out to make sure it's not moving, but it's not going to move like that, and it ain't going to move like that. It's not going to move like that, it's not going to move like that. Right, let's have a look at that. Let's see if we can get this circlip on. That's if this is the one. I think it is. Looks like it, doesn't it? Now, there we go. It's like it's saying Sieg Heil, isn't it? There. And that's coming against its stop here. I'm happy with that. Unusual for me. Right, the next thing is to find a nut for it. Now I'm not sure if I've got any. Yeah, there's one. What a stroke of luck that was. Now, all we've got to do now is find out what the torque of that nut is.